This building that you guys are in is 120 years old, and this is the third building that was here on this site. The first one burnt down, the second one basically fell down, and then they used the foundation from the first building to build this building on top of. And so the foundation that we're on right now is 120 years old.
Wow, so there's a lot of tragedy with this area.
A lot of tragedy with the place. I know of one accidental death. I know of 4 murders. I know of 1 hanging, and not to mention the natural death. You know, this is never meant to be an insane asylum. This is a poor farm. When I was a kid growing up, we always called it the old folks' home or the poor farm. You know, and that's basically what it was. It was never meant to be anything as a medical infirmary or an insane asylum. It never was.
Did it ever turn into that?
It did, because let's face it, if you've got mental problems or if you've got physical problems, the chances of you having a job is pretty slim. And so you would automatically qualify for the poor relief. And so you would be here. And it got to the point where most everybody here weren't capable of working.
Oh, wow.
So back in the 1940s and late 1800s especially, it was called Randolph County Asylum.
Because asylum has an entirely different connotation than infirmary.
Yes, it does.
A lot of
Completely different.
Yeah.
But if you're also expecting for the people here that are superintendents and matrons and stuff, if you're thinking they're doctors, medical doctors, nurses, or any medical or mental trained kind of at all, forget it. There was none.
So did a lot of people die here? Do you know how many people died here?
I know over 200 did. I know well over 200. Out back out here behind a modern garage, there's a pauper cemetery. And I know there's 51 people from this building buried out there.
Well, whenever we're walking around, can you tell us some crazy stories of paranormal activity and also give us an idea of the history of the place while we go around? That way we know where we're going tonight.
I can do that.
All right, thanks, Ted. Where are we going first?
Let's go to the basement first,
all right.
Okay? Okay, in 1938, Ida Gunkel was put in here by her son. And the only thing I can say about Ida is that she's got a huge mental problem. Her biggest problem is 8 years before she was put in here, her husband passed away. And her husband passed away from syphilis. And so Ida's got syphilis, and it's eating her brain up. And every once in a while, she was in very good shape. Other times she'd come running and screaming and ripping her clothes and running up and down the halls and messing down her legs and rolling in it like a dog. They brought Ida's stuff down here and they leave her door open so she could go get her meals and go to the bathroom, socialize with people and all that. But at night, Mrs. Thornburg, who was a matron here at the time, would lock that door because you got the highway out there. And you got 351 acres here. If she gets out there, and you're going to lose her.
Right.
And so they would lock her in here at night. And one night, Mrs. Thornburg was coming by to lock her door, and Ida asked her for a broom. You see the broom up there?
Oh, wow.
And the next morning, when Mrs. Thornburg come to unlock her door so she'd go get breakfast, she found Ida hanging from that broom. Her feet's on the ground, though. And so she leaned forwards about a 45-degree angle, actually choked herself to death. We got an EVP off from her, and I don't have it with me, but I've heard an EVP from her said she had nothing left to live for. And if you stop and think, she didn't.
Right.
You know, so this is Ida Gunkel's room right here. Now, I will tell you this, down at the end of the hall in the men's dining room, there is a crawler or creeper or whatever you want to call them, and it's real. It really is here. But that's PK energy. That's psychokinetic.
Right.
That's created by you and me. You know, it's nothing demonic, but he is here. And he's about 1 foot tall and he looks like a baby octopus. And that sucker can run. I mean, he zooms by you right up the walls, right across the ceilings and everything else. Now, you remember me telling you about the creeper?
Yes.
He's in this room is where I've seen him. I've seen him in this room, in that kitchen, and in the ladies' dining room next door. This place is gender segregated. It was never racially segregated, but gender segregated. And it about had to be.
Yeah.
As we go on, I'll tell you that story too.
Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
But this is the room where your creeper is, your crawler is. And I've actually got a picture of him standing right here with this wall as his background. In 1920, there was a cholera epidemic around Randolph County.
Mm-hmm.
And cholera, you catch it in the morning, 99% of the time before night comes, you're going to be dead. And the way you get cholera is by hog manure in your drinking water. And once you catch it, it turns into an airborne virus, and it's very, very contagious. And there was only 3 morticians in the whole county. And so what they would do, they would bring the cadavers out here, and they'd stack them right there along that wall, one on top of the other. So you got dead people stacked up right there. And of course, this isn't an embalming table, but it's set pretty close to right here. And no, there's no drain in the floor. Okay, so it was a dirt floor at that time.
Just soaked in.
And so what it did was they drain out of the dead people right onto the floor. And your morticians are sitting here waiting in it, you know. And then in later years, when they went to clean it up, they didn't clean it up. They poured about a foot of cement all over the basement floor. Look at that door. See how short that door is?
Yeah.
I can tell you how much cement's on the floor.
Yeah.
Kind of get an idea. So today, if we bust this cement up right here to tear the building down, we could very well let cholera loose again. And that's something that you need to know before you buy old buildings like this, you know, because if you tear it down, you could unleash another epidemic. Let's say now we got Uncle Bob laying over there, and Uncle Bob had a heart attack. He ain't got cholera, okay? But he does now because he's laying with these other cholera people laying there, you know. And so you're not going to have a funeral for Uncle Bob. But Uncle Bob's family goes to the 3 morticians and says, hey, Uncle Bob died of a heart attack. We want a funeral. So the 3 morticians answered all universally the same, how much money he got. And so the 3 morticians would dress up in their so-called 1920s biosuits, and they'd drag Uncle Bob up here and lay him right up here on the table. And they'd drain him out on one end, pumping embalming fluid in him on the other side. And once they get Uncle Bob all embalmed, they would roll him in brown paper and tape him up and put him right there in that cooler with the pork chops.
Oh my God. That's a good way to just infect everybody.
Well, think about it. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Right.
But it's still just the idea that he's in there with your steaks.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's just the idea. But and lo and behold, there was 3.
What's that whistling sound?
Yeah, it sounded like a giggle or a whistle or something. It was like right behind you, Jason.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, he's in there with your steaks.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's just the idea. But and lo and behold, he's in there with your steaks.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's just the idea. But and lo and behold. Okay, right here is probably where it came from. This is the room that the lady was chased down out of the laundry into this room, and she was raped in here. So we get a lot of EVPs out of this room right here. I had 3 ladies from Tennessee that were mediums, and they came up here and they picked up on her before I ever told them the story. And so they left her a flower.
Yeah. That's just awful. The energy that leaves behind, tragedy like that, that's terrible.
Okay, there's a lady down here. She's still here today. Her name is Doris Addington. And Doris was left on the front steps of this building when she was only 11 years old by her 2 older sisters. Their parents had been killed in an automobile accident in 1939. So the 3 girls, they were still young enough that they all wanted to be adopted. but they didn't think Doris would ever be adopted because as a little girl playing around out here, she got kicked in the head by a mule and it messed up her speech. She couldn't talk plain. So they figured Doris would help them clean, but she didn't want to help clean. She wanted to help cook. And so many years later, Doris died here in 2004 when she was 81 years old.
Wow.
And so she spent 70 years cooking 3 meals a day for these folks out here. And this is also the room that Doris Addington died in.
Oh, wow. That is, look at these dolls. That is
Now,
creepy.
all these dolls right here on this shelf are indeed Doris's dolls, and them too.
But yeah, putting these dolls in here, I'm sure that only helps intensify Doris's energy in this room.
Yeah, she'll talk to you in here for sure. They had a lady had her little boy in here with her.
Oh, wow.
Her little boy's name was Noah, and Noah was 8 years old. And Noah got the old-fashioned measles in 1943, and it killed him. He died in this room. Now, we got a lady that used to work with us. Her name is Brandy Reeder, and she's got 2 daughters, and both of her daughters could see and talk to things and hear things. And so every time Brandy would come out here to work, the little girls would come in here with her, and they would come into this room and shut the door and play with this kid. And they'd laugh and talk and carry on. And then, of course, that would freak me out, you know. And then they'd come out and tell us, hey, if Noah's lonesome, he needs toys. So we started buying him toys. This is a sick room. All right. You can get 3 beds in here. Now, look at your vent hole.
They blocked it in.
They sealed it in.
Yeah, they sealed
So
it.
you got it sealed. Your transom will be shut. The glass will be sealed in here, but you still got to carry the contaminated sheets out here in the hall. That's a mistake.
Yeah,
So why didn't they just put a door right here?
they should have.
Yeah, they should have. But for $18.99, they done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
You know.
Makes you think of how many people actually died in that room, you know?
So if they put you in there, they're waiting on you to die because you've either got cholera or tuberculosis.
Wow.
You go in that room, it don't matter whether you're male or female, you probably ain't coming out. This is John Oliver Champ's room. Okay, and yeah, there's a gurney in here for the second floor. John Oliver Champ's 86 years old. He's a tall, thin guy. He got snow white hair parted down the middle and combed back on the sides. He's got a great big long snow white handlebar mustache. He looks like something out of the Old West.
Yeah.
He's 86 years old. And he's a very well-respected man. And there's also 4 thugs that's living on this. They were guys that got drafted in World War II, and they were blown out alcoholics, and they didn't take them. What they were going to do was one nice warm summer afternoon, all the men on this side were going to wash their windows both inside and out. John Oliver goes along with it. So he gets up on a chair and he washes this window on the inside. And there's no way, 86 years old, he's not coming up an extension ladder and do the outside. So John Oliver gets a hold right here and he opens this window and he sits down backwards in the windowsill. And he's sitting here. And he's washing up as high as he can from sitting outside. And 2 of the thugs walked right by the door and seen him sitting here saying, hey, this will look like an accident. Because John Oliver had been ratting them out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a rat and they're going to get him. And they do. They see him sitting here backwards in the windowsill. They come running in here, pick his feet up and shove him over backwards right here. And so when he lands right here. And yeah, it killed him. So here's your jail.
Wow. That's amazing.
Now the judge that I've told you about, told Studi that during World War II coming up, you're going to have some guys out here you're not going to like. And he was right. Them guys that didn't get drafted, they were thugs. And so him and Studi went to Winchester and bought a jail cell. But this is a for real jail cell. You can tell. And what the judge used to do, he would have mock trials up in the attic. You got a lot of people here, so you're going to have petty crimes, petty theft, you know. And Studi was letting him hold mock trials up in the attic and actually sentencing people to a day or overnight or something in his jail cell. Now, this judge, he's retired. He's got no authority. But if Studi, the caretaker, says he can do it, this judge has got more authority than he needs to have.
Right.
The thugs were scared to death of him. They figured he might just hang them. Coming up, Judge.
Where did you have an experience with the judge?
I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Okay, one night, Philip and Christopher Booth. Philip was sitting right here, and Christopher was sitting right there, and they both had SLS cameras.
Yeah.
Ted, come here. So I come over. He said, do you know the judge? And I say, I know who he is. I've never had a personal experience. He said, is this where he had his trials? I said, yeah. And Philip said, looky there. And he had me look at that pole right there.
Yeah.
He said, looky here at the screen. And I looked on the screen. There's a stick figure head coming out from behind that pole. Okay. So Philip said, do you know him? And I said, well enough. I think I can talk to him. So I walked over here then. Come over here, and I leaned against this chimney like this. I'm standing here just like this. And Christopher said, Ted, I think he likes you. He's following you. Philip said, not only is he following you, Ted, he's leaning against the chimney right here beside you. And of course, I'm sitting there giving one of these numbers. I see nothing. I haven't got a camera, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I see nothing. And I'm just standing here like this, checking him around. And the next thing I know, my whole world come unglued. I mean, I am dizzy to the point where I'm going to pass out. My world's swimming. I'm spinning.
Wow.
You know? And so I got clear down here on the floor leaning against this. And Christopher said, Ted, I believe the old boy does like you. He put his hand on your shoulder. Well, no, I didn't feel him put his hand on my shoulder, but I know something was making me sick. So I wasn't surprised when he said that a bit. So I said, Judge, my friend, I said, I like you too, but you're going to have to quit touching me because I can't handle it. It's making me sick. I said, I'm going to pass out. And within 10 seconds, I felt fine. I said, where'd he go? And Philip said he walked back across and went back behind the pole right there, and we can't see him no more. So any skepticism I ever had went out the window.
Yeah.
That night.
All right, so we just got done with the walkthrough. Ted showed us some amazing places inside this building. The history is just tragic of this asylum. And it's a perfect recipe for hauntings. It's in the top 10 most haunted places in America. And this place we've been told by our friends that this place is terrifying when the sun goes down. And that's where we are. The sun is about to go down here in Winchester, Indiana.
Yeah.
We are going to have the Randolph County Asylum to ourselves until 10 a.m. all night.
It's going to be pretty awesome. I know with what Ted was saying, you know, some of the stories of the woman in the basement, the judge up in the attic, and various different stories that he told throughout the tour here. There's definitely going to be tons of places for, you know, lots of things to happen tonight. And there's an eerie feeling in here. So
I'm ready for the sun to go down.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's get started. Finally all set up, starting solo. Don't run into this, I just got set up. Ida. Can I have a seat? My name's Ryan. I brought a couple things here for you. If you wouldn't mind to talk to me.
And the next morning, when Mrs. Thornburg come to unlock her door so she could get breakfast, she found Ida hanging from that broom.
Can you make something move in here? Maybe you could touch one of these devices or knock this broom or something off the windowsill here behind me. Ida, you can touch me, you can use my energy, you can do whatever you need to do to get communication. You can also go over and knock that camera. Can you knock that camera off that stand that I have it sitting on? It's not attached, so if you push it hard enough, it should just come off. What was that? I'm down here all by myself because I wanted to talk to you, Ida. Because I wanted to talk to you, Ida. Because I wanted to talk to you, Ida. Can you tell me why you took your own life? There's a device down there on the floor that if you get close to it, it'll light the lights up. I can't see it right now, but I'll be able to see it later when I watch it. If it's a yes, could you light that meter up? If it's a no, could you just let it be? Don't get near it. So all you have to do is get near it and touch it, and it'll light up. Do you understand? Now, I'm going to go over to the morgue room if you don't talk a little bit here. All right, Ida, I'm going to walk out of here. All right, Ida, I'm going to leave you alone in that cell. Or I'm going to leave you alone in your room here. I'm going to take this with me. And I'm going to go down to a different room. The room that I'm going to by myself now. It's supposed to be the scariest room.
And so what they would do, they would bring the cadavers out here and they'd stack them right there along that wall, one on top of the other. So you got dead people stacked up right there.
All right. I'm going to set this recorder beside the REM pod. They say right here where I'm standing up against the wall, there was a bunch of people that died of cholera. They said it's a very fast death within days. There's a light, there's two lights. If you get close to that one and you touch it, it'll go off. If you get close to that other one and you speak, you say something,
I should be able to hear your voice later on. So please come talk to me. My name is Ryan. I come only with the utmost respect. I have a few questions for you. And I'd really appreciate it if you communicated with me here tonight. Ted talked about something, that underneath this floor is actually the disease cholera, and that tearing down this building and breaking apart this concrete would unleash the disease on whoever is here in Winchester. Is this true? You can use my energy. Whatever you need to talk to me, you can use it. Just come up to these devices here and just talk to me, please. Will it help you if I touch this table? Use my energy through the table to the recorder or the REM pod to make either that go off or talk to that. But I'm going to go into this room where they believe this woman who ended up being permitted to break the gender segregation, ended up being assaulted by 3 men.
I had 3 ladies from Tennessee that were mediums, and they came up here and they picked up on her before I ever told them the story. And so they left her a flower.
Yeah. That's just awful. The energy that leaves behind, tragedy like that, that's terrible. I just came here to have a conversation with you. I know I'm probably not the person you want to talk to. Those men did something horrible to you. And I really, really apologize. I'm so sorry they did that to you. If you could speak into this light here that I have in my hand, it'd be a lot easier for me to talk to you. So please, if you could, just talk right here. If that's you, can you make it go up a light?
Getting interesting now.
Oh, look, it went up a light.
Yeah, I've never seen it hit like 3 on this new one.
It literally went to blue there. That's crazy.
Is it on the normal setting?
Yeah.
Yeah, it hit.
Can you step back away from it, please? Can you just take a step back, please? Just please step back into the day room. Please?
Did you know if you get closer to that, it'll make more callers? Can you try that?
Can you make it hit all 4?
Whoa. Did you hear
I've
that?
been hearing stuff behind us.
What'd you hear?
Oh, it kind of sounded like a finger snap or something.
Yeah, it's not me, but I'm holding two fingers in my hand right now.
Hello? Do you hear that noise?
What? What'd you see?
Someone's blocking the light out behind that door right now. On the right-hand side of the crack where I'm standing. Unless the trees are gone, something is just blocking the light out. It's moving again. You see the light coming through the crack on the right
Think
hand
that's how
side.
that sounds. I hear music.
Yeah.
You're moving right here in front of me.
Whoa.
You guys want to hear the music?
I heard it.
I hear music.
Whoa, did you hear that?
That was me turning the dead light on.
No, I heard that, but it was a whisper.
Really?
Go on.
Come towards us down here. It's okay.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
You heard that on your record?
Which way?
Yes, I did.
Which way?
I don't know. I heard it.
It was like a. Is that what you heard?
Yes, it echoed. It's inside.
Yeah, it echoed off the walls. Was it from behind you, Jason?
I couldn't tell.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Is there a woman down here that's moaning?
Can you make that light up again for us? Where did you go?
Whoa.
What's that?
That was my back on this door. Sorry.
I didn't even realize you were still standing there. Freaked me out. I thought you'd moved down there, which is weird because I thought I saw you sitting in that wheelchair there. I thought I saw someone sitting in that wheelchair right there, guys.
You did?
So I was back this hallway here, and I didn't realize that Jason was still standing right here. And I looked out through that door and I saw a silhouette. I couldn't get it on camera because I was still behind the door jamb with the camera. But I thought I saw a silhouette sitting in this wheelchair, and I was like, oh, Jason must be over there sitting in that wheelchair now. And then he moved and his back hit the door, and that was when it clicked in my head that he was still standing right here. Scared the ever living shit out of me, but
How far down was that cage?
right over here.
Did I miss it?
Yeah. Go down another door.
Oh, right here? Oh, the door's closed.
Did you hear that?
That sounded like a voice, wasn't it?
It sounded like snapping again. I don't know what that is. I keep hearing it.
What was that?
I thought that was you.
Did you just open that door, Steve?
Yeah. And then the EMF just went off. That was that buzzing sound.
Are you rolling on that camera there?
It's not pointing at it, but
Okay, but you got the sound of it?
I should have, yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. If anyone's in here with me, there's a device right there in front of me. It's got orange lights on it, numbers. Can you touch that device, set it off, stand near it? Or my buddies are out there in the hallway.
That was weird. I just saw like a Not on my camera, but I saw it out the side of my eye, like a white ball of light or something right here by this door.
Huh.
Someone going down here, I'm lost.
All right, I'm all by myself in here.
REM pod.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see. I'm gonna trip.
Can you come on up here with us?
Whoa.
That was definitely the REM pod.
Judge.
Did that sound like the temperature, or did that sound like the regular REM pod?
I don't know. If it was the temperature, it would have gone off by now.
Judge?
Whoa.
I heard that. We're going in.
Here, let me leave this with them.
Okay.
Oh, I cannot see.
Use this camera real fast, Steve.
Sure.
We're gonna run over here. We heard a sound back in this room. We're gonna try and investigate.
The REM pod was going off too.
Yeah, I heard that. That was crazy.
It's already rolling and everything.
They're all hooked together, not gonna drop anything.
That's got a rat on this K2, guys.
Really?
You got red? You got red on the K2?
Yes, twice.
Oh, there it goes. I can see it. Look at it.
Thank you. Who's here with me? My name's Jason. What's your name?
It's kind of cool. It's like
Maybe they're just getting comfortable using it.
It's pulling us in all different directions. This is crazy.
That hit red twice.
what was that? Did you hear that?
I heard something
I heard a breath.
Yeah, it was like.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
It sounded like it was ever beyond Jason.
like almost like choking.
Yeah.
Is that you, Judge?
That hit red twice. That hit red twice.
Yeah.
Judge, was that you? We know that you like Ted. And we like Ted. He's a great guy, isn't he? Judge?
What was that? Was that ever by you?
No, that's behind you.
That's behind you. Judge, are you dishing out some justice? What do you do if somebody breaks the rules of this institution?
Judge, can you make one of our devices go off again?
Yeah, I just did. REM pod.
Oh,
Whoa.
very cool. Thank you. All right, Judge, we're coming down to see you.
It's so dark. What?
It's kind of like I got enveloped in like an energy there. That was weird.
Yeah. It's creepy up here. You all right?
Oh, God.
What's the matter?
I just something just keeps walking right in front of me.
Like you feel an energy?
Yeah. And then it like blacked out. I didn't black out, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like a shadow.
Hello?
You all right, man?
You all right, man?
Dave. Dave.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
I told you.
Yeah. The REM pod's going off right over here in the stairwell. He just keeps seeing a shadow coming in front of him. And then as soon as he stepped back, the REM pod, which is sitting over here, by the way, on the stairs, and actually that's the temperature sensor. What'd you see?
I don't know. For some reason, I'm like on edge.
There's that. That's where the REM pod is, by the way. Right here. I was pretty damn close to that wall. I didn't even realize.
Judge, why don't you make that door shut right there? Can you do that? I know that you have a lot of energy. I can feel that. I did not like that. That made me like sick to my stomach.
Is it being really aggressive?
Kind of just was. It was just like intimidating. I don't know. That was weird. It didn't feel like evil or anything. It just felt like,
Like, I'm here.
standing right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was odd. I didn't like that.
Did you grab the book?
He did.
I was gonna say, you know, what would be a good experiment while you guys are in here
What's that?
is we go to the kitchen and try and talk to Doris.
Oh, yeah.
That, so I think it'd be interesting if we could try and capture that squid, that thought form of it.
Oh, the.
Yeah.
So try and conjure him up in that room.
Yeah, we can try and conjure the crawler.
Now, I will tell you this, down at the end of the hall in the men's dining room, there is a crawler or creeper or whatever you want to call them, and it's real. It really is here. And he's about a foot tall, and he looks like a baby octopus. And that sucker can run. I mean, he zooms by you right up the walls, right across the ceilings and everything else.
All right, Doris. It's just me and Steve now. I'm Dave. That's Steve. And we just want to come and talk to you. We were given permission, so it's okay.
We're not here to harm anybody. We're not here to harm you.
No, we just want to talk.
So we got we have 3 cameras covering this area. Yep.
What do you think about what? Give a minute or something and accolade.
What was that? That one. Hello? 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 Doris, is that you?
Doris, there's a red glowing light right there. A little red light bulb. When we ask a question, you can put your hand over that and it'll let us know that you're here.
Sounds like there's a clip in here right now.
Yeah.
2 balls.
Okay. I see that one. Hello, Doris?
Doris, are you attached to any of your dolls? Do you use them as ways to communicate with people? If so, could you touch the red light on the table or go close to the middle of the shelf on the top shelf? Please.
What was that? It sounded like a woman moaning, like, "Whoa." What was that? What was that? So we're going to we're going to envision this crawler that Ted saw. This low crawling black shadow that speeds across the floor and the wall. We're going to try and get this to manifest itself. We're going to try and manifest it by using psychokinetic energy. I heard that squeak. It was like a tap. I heard a tap right out here.
Sir, we heard about your story of you getting pushed out of this window to your death.
K2 sitting, or the EMF on the EDI.
Are you here with us?
They see him sitting here backwards in the windowsill. They come running in here, pick his feet up, and shove him over backwards right here. And so when he lands right here, and yeah, it killed him.
If you could, we'd love to speak with you. You just have to go like this, or you can move this, and then light up, and then let us know that you're talking with us.
They will not hurt you.
Can you touch one of the balls down here again? Please? Doris? What was that? Yeah. Doris? Are you making dinner? Doris? There's a lot of people that miss you here.
You sure did have a good view from up here, didn't you?
Could you maybe tap on something? Does being around the window make you nervous? We can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Hey, you going to the gym? Digital freezer.
Man, the hair on the back of my back, on the back of my neck is standing up.
Me too.
Come in here and show yourself to us.
Are you in here with us? Come on in this room here.
If you can hear this sound, please come closer towards it. Man, it's getting something on. It's right outside this door.
It's not bedroom.
No, man.
Ryan, Steve, that's you. Now is not the time. I will quit right now if that's you guys.
Whoever is out in that hallway, open this door and come towards this sound. Please.
That was.
I'm gonna play this back when you get up there and listen to those loud noises.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
End of session review. And that was a damn whistle.
It was. That was crazy.
And like you said, that was directly in front of us.
Yeah.
I mean, that was right in here.
Yeah.
That was freaky.
Yeah.
I've warned you about it now, okay?
Okay.
This is the men's dining room. All right, so every meal the men would eat in this room. Right here's your buzzer. All right.
That is crazy. Now, can you hear that buzzer outside?
You can hear that buzzer outside. You can hear it clear up in the attic in this building.
Okay.
So it actually goes all through the building.
Yeah, it does.
That's amazing. You mind if I press it?
Press it. Help yourself.
That's amazing.
This is an incredibly historic location, one of the most haunted locations in the world.
All right.
Did you hear that?
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, there was something like a.
What did you guys just moan?
It sounded like a little girl.
A lot of negative things at Pennhurst with the mistreatment and overpopulation, but also a little dirty secret about Pennhurst. And back in the early 20th century, they practiced eugenics here.
I'm feeling, I know what she's kind of feeling. She says that she's in prison. Okay. She doesn't want to be here.
It just said Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say what I thought it said, but it sounded like a whisper.
So here we are, Paranormal Quest on location at the infamous Pennhurst State School and Hospital here in Spring City, Pennsylvania. This is an incredibly historic location, one of the most haunted locations in the world, a location that the four of us each have been highly anticipating visiting ever since we've been investigating the paranormal.
Yeah, and it is very creepy. One thing that I think we do know about this place just from the folklore surrounding it is that the history here is really dark. There's a lot of history surrounding this hospital, which is part of the reason why they shut it down. And I think that's going to be something that we're going to have to explore tonight during the investigation.
Like you said, you know, this is something we've been waiting for a very, very long time, to take on this this amazingly historical location, this amazing haunted location. It's obvious that, you know, the energy here is really already kind of, I think, reaching out to us. I can't wait to get in these buildings and take this on. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. But first we have to get a tour of the grounds here and learn a little bit of the history. So right over here, Eric is going to be giving us a golf cart tour around Pennhurst. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm happy you guys are here. As you guys know, my name's Eric. I'm a paranormal investigator here at Pennhurst. I'm also a tour guide. I'm going to be giving this awesome group a show around the place. There's a lot to see here. We have 150 acres, so it's going to be a good one. So let's hop in the golf cart, guys. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
building on my left is called Limerick Building. And this building is actually an exact mirror of Mayflower, the building that we were in. That's where our headquarters is. This building is in terrible condition. If you look at the roof here where the staircase is, you can see some of the roof caving in. To be honest with you, nothing too significant about this building in terms of paranormal activity. Kind of a fun little cool fact is on the first floor here was something called the canteen. And that was like a little general store for patients. Patients go in there and they would buy little snacks and stuff like that. We're gonna walk up these stairs here. Now, if you walk up these stairs, obviously you can see right here in the damaged part of this building. This was the hospital right here in front of us. And this right here was part of the original hospital that collapsed here. From my understanding, this part of the collapsed hospital used to be a state-of-the-art surgical wing. And back in this day, it was beautiful. This collapsed, unfortunately, in 2016. We had to intentionally bring it down. We took a big bulldozer and we just pushed it right in. It was collapsing in on itself. It was a safety hazard to people, and we had to just bring it down. I love taking people back here and showing it, though, and getting some good pictures of it. But yeah, and where we're standing right now, actually, was the ambulance loop for the hospital. The ambulance would come right up here, drop off patients right through those doors, and would loop right back out. If you look at old photos of Pennhurst, there was no vegetation here back in the day. This was all cleared out. It was farmland for as far as the eye can see. But that old cliche of nature reclaiming buildings, as you can see, it really is, really is true. So we're gonna hop back in the golf cart. I'm gonna take you around and we're gonna see the hospital tunnel. Now this is really cool up here. Now if you want to get any pictures of any kind, I highly recommend it. This right here on our left was another part of the hospital. And in these sky bridges that you see right here, this led into Wilson 1 and Wilson 2. Those were the schoolhouses on campus. Believe it or not, this building right here, the school, this is in pretty good condition. And I would really like them to open it up to the public one day. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do that. But this building obviously is very, very terrible condition. If you look up here through these windows, you can see that there's no roof on this building anymore. I was in the basement of this building last year looking for the morgue. And it's not in the basement, by the way. I'll tell you where it is in a second. But you could see the beams were rotten right away. They were just ready to come down. I'm honestly, I'm surprised this building is still standing. Now, I may have spoiled it before, but take a guess what's right behind this wall. Bet you can't guess. The morgue. I was just in there, like I said, last year. The freezers are still in there.
Are they?
Oh yeah, but the doors aren't on them anymore. But yeah, the freezers are in there. Actually, this whole grassy field that you see in front of us, this used to be a building. It was called the K Building or the Keystone Building. And this was actually torn down prior to 1987 when the place closed for unknown reasons. I spent quite a few years now trying to find a reason for this. And I wasn't able to find it. I don't know if there was structural damage or something, but they demolished it right before they closed Pennhurst and they filled the ground in. All these catwalks you see here are of our tunnel systems. We're going to be exploring 2 of those tunnel systems tonight. One of them is very large. The other half of the tunnel system that we can't explore, that's part of a haunted attraction. Otherwise, we'd be able to. But it's really sad because when Pennhurst closed in 87, which if you think about it, it's really not that long ago. Pennhurst had a big squatter population in the early 90s and late 80s because patients would come back here. They had nowhere to go. I mean, they were excommunicated back then. It was such a different time back then, Like little Johnny came off in the 50s for ADHD, be completely normal otherwise. And then, he spends so many years next to people that aren't so normal and fed all these drugs and maybe he doesn't turn out so well, you know what I mean? But Pennhurst was like its own separate city, they were excommunicated from the outside world. It's terrible. But the biggest problem here at Pennhurst and at most of these places around here was the overcrowding. I mean, people just shoved people in here. When Pennhurst first opened in 1908, I'm sorry, it was meant for 500 people, but by 1911, it was already up to 1,500 people, 1,500. Obviously, they opened up more buildings, but it wasn't enough. And actually, in the 50s, it capped out at about 5,500 patients they had here at one time. It was so bad they had patients sleeping on the floor. They didn't even have enough beds for them. So many people, they blame the nurses, then they blame the doctors, and that's kind of fair. But if you want to blame anyone, blame the state. I mean, they didn't give enough money, didn't give them enough resources, you know what I mean? So. There's about 20 buildings total still standing, including the 3 that are torn down because they're not completely torn down yet. This is the backside of Devon where we're going to be going later. And then I took you over here because I want to talk about this building real quick. This is Quaker. And Quaker is probably our most active building on campus. Unfortunately, we can't go in there, not yet. But this is actually the building where I had one of my first experiences ever with the paranormal. What we used to do was we used to go out into the tunnels after everyone had left from the haunted attraction, all the customers, staff had left, small group of us. And then one night we came into Quaker and me and my buddy went to the 2nd floor and we went to a room. It's like a little loft over here on the front of the building. It's like a little day room for the patients. I was feeling fine the entire time. As soon as we entered that room, it was like a 180. I felt uncomfortable, on edge, like something was watching me. You know, I felt very, very uncomfortable. I turned to my buddy. I didn't even say anything. He said, yeah, I feel it too. We just looked at each other. We left. I was getting to the point where I was getting a little nauseous. We left the building. We got out of there and I felt fine when I left. But ever since then, and I mean, I've experienced so many more times since I've been here, I'm a big believer in energy, and that is real. The human body being able to pick up on energy and stuff like that, that is 100% real. So I like telling that story. I don't like telling stories because I don't want to give people expectations, but since we can't go in there. I also want to talk about the basement of this building. We have a spirit in there. I'm not going to tell you his name because I don't like saying his name, but if you brag me enough, you'll probably get it out of me by the end of the night. But we know that he actually used to work here as a janitor, and we have heard him say his name, and he is very negative towards women, we found out. So we can't go in there, but when we go in the Rockwell Tunnel, which is right below us, we're going to be right outside his door. So we're going to try to make him come out.
Do you have any idea how many people actually died?
That is a great question. And I got to be honest with you, man, I've heard so many estimates over the years and the records were lost. And I also know that there were some undocumented deaths here. Like I said, I've heard so many numbers and I don't even know. At least a few hundred if I had to guess, because I know that when the hospital first opened, it was originally a TB ward. And I know a lot of people passed away in that ward.
So was there ever like an old pauper's field here, like an old cemetery?
I know that there's a cemetery on property, and I don't even personally know exactly where it is. We kind of keep it hush-hush here because we don't want people to know that so they can go disturb it. My best guess, and this is kind of a guess, I think it's up where somewhere near the Veterans Hospital on state land, and I think it's completely overgrown. But we kind of don't share that information a lot because we kind of want that to be at peace. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of unmarked graves there as well.
Yeah, who knows? Back in the earliest years.
Yeah, for sure.
Who knows where they could have buried them? They could have brought them out right outside the building that they died in and put them right there on the ground.
And don't get me wrong, like I said, a lot of negative things at Pennhurst with the mistreatment and overpopulation, but also a little dirty secret about Pennhurst. And back in the early 20th century, they practiced eugenics here. If you guys know what that is, yeah, I'm sure you've heard of that before. So that was something they kind of swept under the rug. It didn't come to light till years later.
So the sun just went down here in Spring City, Pennsylvania. We are here at the Pennhurst State School and Hospital. Eric is going to be taking us over to the Devon building to start the investigation. And this is one of the more active buildings here on the site. So we're excited to get over there. We're going to get in there and we're going to try the Estes method. So for spirit box communication. So let's head over. Beautiful. Sure. So Eric, where should we go?
So I do want to start in the basement. Okay. There's a lot to see in this building, but I want to start in the basement. It's kind of like a good intro to this building. Okay. I'm going to take you guys to a little place called Candyland.
Candyland.
It's kind of fitting because you four look like you just entered into a candy store, you know?
Yeah.
You guys are like ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, right here.
Just every hair on my arms is standing up right now. Like even the hair on my head is standing up. Like right as soon as I rounded this corner, holy sh**. All right.
Did you hear that?
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, there was something like a.
What did you guys just moan?
No.
It sounded like a little girl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It wasn't far.
Hello? All right.
Did you hear that?
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, there was something like a.
What did you guys just moan?
No.
It sounded like a little girl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It wasn't far.
Hello?
Who's here with Ryan and I? My name is Jason. And that's Ryan.
Hello?
Hi. My name's Jason. That's my friend Ryan there. Please don't be afraid of us. Can you tell us your name? We wanted to come in and visit with you. Get a chance to meet you.
I did. And that was a woman that said that. Very clear. Your turn.
It's our turn. Our turn for what?
I want the girl. And that sounded like a man's voice, but it was more high pitched and it was fragmented. But same voice.
What girl do you want?
Okay, it's static right here again. It's like the voices have slowed down. It's like there's not anybody coming through anymore. They've just kind of stopped. Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting any voices anymore. That was weird though. As soon as I got that static and turned it on, I was getting a burst of a bunch of voices. The creepiest was that man's voice that said, "I want the girl." I want the girl. It was like really fragmented but very authoritative. Does that make any sense to you, Eric?
No.
Not at all. Okay, I want to grab the REM pod here.
Yeah, I asked a few questions there. I was just basically introducing us and saying to please don't be afraid of us, and we were here to meet you.
Whoa. What the hell?
Can I louder? Can you?
Guys, this REM pod is dead. Holy It blinked whenever I put it down, right? Hold on, let me take the battery off of it, put it back on. But it was literally just dead right there when I grabbed it. That's a brand new battery.
Yeah, that's all they put it in.
Hold on. Here, lay it up.
Yeah.
It works now. You literally watched me reach down and pick it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Just now.
That's really weird. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna chalk that up to coincidence, maybe.
Oh.
If you come over to me, sit down. That's weird. If you come over to me, and there's a device in my hand that you can use. I'm sure you've used it before. I'm sure a lot of people have tried to talk to you through this. My name's Ryan. That's Jason. That's Dave over there in the doorway. That's Steve. And of course, you know Eric. I'm sure he's here a lot. What's your name? Someone said Tony. Or something that close to that. Almost sounded like a speech pattern.
Is Tony your name?
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna walk down this hallway by myself. No flashlight. I like it. You like what? I got the stack again over here, guys.
Go out there and speak to Ryan.
Come back. That's weird. I was getting ready to walk back here, and I heard a man's voice say, "Come back." All right, I'll come back. I just hope I don't trip over anything.
You don't have to be afraid to come in and speak with us. Ryan has a little toy in his hand that allows him to hear you easier. But he's over in the hallway right now.
Hi. Guys, I can't see shit. Can you turn the night shot off and show them what we're seeing, Dave? Literally nothing.
It isn't very threatening at all in here at all. I mean, it is peaceful.
All right, I think I'm gonna turn this off here. That was weird though.
You want to switch me?
Huh?
You want to switch me?
Hold on, let me take these headphones off. That would make more sense so I can hear what the hell you're saying. What was that?
Would you like to switch me?
Sure. Oh gosh.
I find the intersection of this corridor right here.
I'm here. Where are you? Go ahead, Eric.
I thought I just heard something behind me.
Really?
Yeah, but this. I keep thinking I'm hearing something. This corridor is interesting. With some of the stuff that's happening.
Help. Why do you need help? This is our first time here at Pennhurst. You. It is kind of cute. Just like down there in the other, in the candy room, Candyland room. We introduced ourselves. My name's Ryan. Leaning up against the wall is Steve. On the other side of the hall is Dave. And then the guy all the way down in the hallway over there, that's Jason. We're not here to hurt you.
The hell? Crickets.
The cabin. Yeah, I was going to hold you.
He's not a fan of bugs. Okay, recording. This is Pennhurst, Steve and Ryan. First floor of the Devon building. It is August the 17th, 2020. We are heading down the hallway here.
Is there anybody in here with us? We'd love to talk to you.
What?
What's wrong? Just a lot of energy from this room to my right.
It's interesting that you didn't say that.
Why? Why is that it?
That's one of the hot spots.
Is it? What is that sound?
There's water outside. I heard there's water outside.
Oh, I think it's a cricket outside.
This room right here is crowded.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Come on in here if you want. Again, my name's Steve. It's Ryan. Of course, you know the gentleman in the next room. I'm sure he's here quite often. We mean no disrespect. We're just here in hopes of getting to know you, or find proof that you're still here, that you still frequent the building that you once lived in, that you used.
Oh, dear.
And this was used for what?
Devin was, I guess it would have been more of just the men later years and then co-ed earlier on.
Can you please come out and speak with us? You're allowed to. You're not going to get in trouble if you come and speak with us.
You're making me laugh.
Let's go.
We go up.
I'm nowhere near like, I'm not like super sensitive type of person, but if there's something happening.
Maybe right here.
Right here in this spot, you feel something happen, Steve?
Oh, it said
Yeah.
have a new
Because I
subscriber.
was walking down here, like just like, okay, right or left, And then it just felt like it just needed to stay, like right here, like there was some kind of scuffle or fight. So maybe not like a fight, but someone was struggling.
Like a confrontation.
Yeah, someone was not happy with being here. I have no clue what this area was used for, but I'm just gonna say this so it's documented, and I'm not saying I'm 100% confident on this stuff, but there was someone who was somewhat taller with short, whitish blonde hair with a patient's gown.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, I think it was a she, and she was very not happy with being here, like she's like crying because she doesn't
Yeah,
want to
crying.
be here.
She's singing.
Do you feel her energy projecting on you? Like, do you feel
I'm
upset
just,
right
I'm
now?
just seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing it happen. I'm feeling, I know what she's kind of
Oh,
feeling. She
like-
says she's in prison.
Okay.
She doesn't want to be here. And of course, she
She's
has,
right here.
just kind of around here.
Okay.
We can't see you that well, so if you could give us a noise, we love to make noises.
Oh, 1 hour.
Hello?
Look, how you hear that singing? You normally put it there.
I don't know what this is. This is super dark.
It's a hallway.
Hello? All these are little toys that we're holding. I promise you won't hurt you.
I hear them. What time do you have, by the way?
9:58.
Okay, we should probably,
I was gonna say.
if we're gonna need time to set up abandonment as well.
Right, bro, and I forgot about that. Let's real quick sweep this and see.
Nice one.
All right, so it's after midnight here at the Pennhurst State School and Hospital, and we are going to split up. And not just split up, we're going to be entirely on different ends of the campus here. So Steve and I are going to stay here in Mayflower, which is the main building that they operate tours out of and ghost hunts out of. You guys are going to go over to the tunnels, right?
Right below us.
Right below us, because every single one of these buildings at one time was connected by these secret tunnels that go underneath the ground. And some of those tunnels are still here, and that's where you guys are going to go. A lot of disembodied voices down there from what Eric says, and a lot of creepy activity. So
That's right.
wish you guys luck.
Hey, hopefully we'll need it.
Hopefully. Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys here in a little bit. Have fun.
Good luck.
So we are all by ourselves in this building. And we would very much appreciate it if someone would come and talk to us. We would love to hear your story. We'd love to know who you are.
Which one?
Somebody come to the door. How about you let us know you're in there?
When we go in the Rockwell Tunnel, which is right below us, we're going to be right outside his door. So we're going to try to make him come out.
What all's in there? Let's see here.
Is this like a chapel or something?
Yeah, there's pews in there, yeah. They said, right now, folks, all we have is the light from this screen.
We literally have no other flashlight.
Yeah, these are church pews, bro.
This is creepy in here. This is really creepy.
Yeah. It's a desk. It's a Bible.
Is there anybody down here with us?
What was that? I didn't hear that.
That sounded like it came from that way.
That sounded like a voice.
Down that way.
Yeah.
What was that?
It sounded like it came from that way.
Is that you talking to us?
We going up or you just checking?
Let's go and leave that down here.
Okay. Whoa, there we go.
Hello?
Stop. Why do you want us to stop?
It was silent down there.
Can you make a noise down there for us? Can you come closer? We can hear you. Can you come closer? We can hear you. Can you come a little bit closer than that?
Oh.
Yeah. What did that just say? Are you talking like a real person or like a spirit?
Not us, not on our side of the door. Spirit.
A spirit, okay.
Sorry.
I turn it down.
Yeah.
It just said fire. Did you hear that? It said fire. Did you hear someone talking? I thought I heard someone talking.
I did too.
You know, if you want to talk to us, you can touch this right here, and it'll light up like that, and it'll let us know you're here.
So my buddy Ryan right there. My name is Steve. Are you a patient? You live here?
I do.
Yeah.
That just said I do.
We're just here visiting. We meet.
Oh, something behind you.
Was that you made that knocking sound?
Hey, Skippy. Whoa, did y'all hear something?
Which way?
I couldn't tell.
What did it sound like?
I don't know if it was a weird, I don't even think that's bad. I don't think you can get water break. It almost sounded like a whisper. And I don't know if I want to say what I thought it said, but it sounded like a whisper.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Whoa, did y'all hear something?
I'm telling you, it's a you. Corey. I heard Corey.
Yeah.
Very Corey. Hi, Corey.
Nice to meet you.
Said hi. Little kid's voice.
Yeah.
You want to play, Corey?
We've heard that before. Cricket.
Yeah.
Is your nickname Cricket? Cricket, are you here?
I would say we could try the shepherd's tongues, but I just thought about it because I need signal to do that. I need signal to load it, and then once it's loaded, I'm good.
Unless you want to go over to Devon and try it.
Or we could try it on maybe one of the wards.
Yeah. You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a lot of times with those shepherd's tongues anymore, it may be good to
Quiet it.
get that, and then plus maybe get any kind of reaction, but maybe even visual reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe having them come out and show themselves if they can.
Don't mind us. It's not ominous or anything, is it?
No. Man, I can feel it in my knees up here. It's creepy. It just said Jason.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
It sounded like Jason's voice.
It did.
You're not Jason.
It just said Jason.
You're not our friend Jason. Who are you? That was.
It just said Jason again.
I've got chills, dude.
Me too.
That sounded just like our Jason.
Yeah.
So my name is Jason. This is my friend Dave here. And we're going to play a noise. It may sound strange to you, but if you can hear it, we ask that you please come forward
Yeah.
and get as close as you can to us.
Told you I ain't good at picking up these things. That's why I asked if you heard the woman singing.
Just feel like you can get charged. We just came to visit. The property owner said we could come in. But if you don't want us here, you're gonna have to let us know.
It's not creepy or anything.
Huh?
It says get out on the stall. It's not creepy or anything.
Or the door.
Yeah. What's in here? Why does it say get out? It's shut, whatever it is. It's like it's screwed shut.
No one. Join me now.
There's a little red light out in the hallway. If you touch that, it'll let us know you're here.
Oh, okay, I ain't not gonna let you go. No, you're waving your hand. Oh, join me now. I just crazy them.
Come closer. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
I hear footsteps. Can you turn that off for a second? Just the amp.
Listen, yeah. That's one of those chairs.
No.
That's metal. Can't listen.
I'm trying my nails. The dry now. It's that quick drying one.
We can't see you. That's obvious.
I hear that. Who's walking down there?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Hello?
I've got glue on my fingers.
Come on in. Come talk to us.
Can you see the red light on the floor? Can you see the red light on the floor there? Wave your hand by it, makes a little noise.
Is there anyone that lived up here? Is this your room?
18.
18? Is there a room 18?
His number?
I don't know.
It stopped.
Is there anyone that lived up here? Is this your room?
18. 18.
18? Is there a room 18?
His number? You're going to have to help us find it. You said what? 318? 318.
Okay, so let's say 311. 312.
He's going to be on the right side then. All right.
314.
What's this one? If it was delayed and we passed it and then it responded, it wouldn't pass enough.
I don't see a number.
No.
Can you please come through and give us a sign that you're here with Dave and I?
Is this 318? Room 318?
Let's walk back down. I'm interested to see if they got anything.
Yeah.
But
If you want, we could just kind of call a rap strip.
This is an incredibly historic location, one of the most haunted locations in the world.
Just every hair on my arms is standing up right now. Like even the hair on my head is standing up. Like right as soon as I rounded this corner, holy shit.
I'm feeling, I know what she's kind of feeling. She says that she's in prison. Okay. She doesn't want to be here.
It just said Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all hear something?
Which way?
I couldn't tell.
What did it sound like?
I don't know if I want to say what I thought it said, but it sounded like a whisper.
It's not creepy or anything.
Huh?
It says get out.
You've heard how when you do renovations, it spikes activity. Like this is the first time I've actually seen it firsthand.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Sorry, the yellow guys.
No, it's the chair started vibrating.
What's the matter? What the did you scratch my arm? Christ. Are you okay? Dave?
Ooh. Dude, something just moved my glasses on my head. What is it?
Dave just got scratched.
Are you okay, man?
Oh my god. You heard that, didn't you?
You're good at pushing people around, oppressing people. Push me. Push me down these steps.
Madison, Ohio sits along the shore of Lake Erie. This small village, though quiet and peaceful, has history dating back to the pre-Civil War era. There's one building that serves as a constant reminder of Madison's roots. That building is the Madison Seminary. The original structure, established in 1847, served as a higher education learning center for the men and women of Lake County. But it wasn't until 1891 that the largest and most recognizable structure was built onto the property. This expansion only began after the property was purchased by the Ohio Women's Relief Corps, an organization that rendered help to the Civil War Army nurses, as well as mothers, sisters, and wives who had been displaced by the war. Madison Seminary is now owned by Adam Kimmel, a preservationist and paranormal investigator who is best known as the creator and lead investigator of Resident Undead.
I never dreamed I would own a seminary, but I do. This entire journey has made me undeniably passionate about saving our past. My friends and I use unconventional methods to find the truth within every legend and to capture the voices of spirits. Whoa, that's a human tone voice. You may have heard my name. It's Adam, and I invite you to travel with me as we find and call the Resident undead.
Steve here from Paranormal Quest with Adam Kimmel, founder of Resident Undead and owner of Madison Seminary. How you doing?
Good. I'm glad to finally have you guys here. I've been waiting for this.
So we just heard that you recently purchased Madison Seminary. How did that come about?
Well, I love saving history. I helped save the Randolph County Infirmary out there in Winchester, and that one was calculated when I went to go save it. With Madison, it wasn't, but I fell in love with Madison back in 2010 when we came out. There's just something about just when you're there, it's just an awesome location. And I remember saying to myself, it'd be awesome if I could have this place one day. But that was never going to happen. And then just consider it the stars aligned perfectly. I don't know what you want to say, but when I filmed the last time there, just a deal presented itself, purchased it, You've heard how when you do renovations, it spikes activity. This is the first time I've actually seen it firsthand.
What makes Madison Seminary so unique is the diverse history surrounding it. Part of that history can be described as inspirational, while it was used as a school to educate young people. But there is a darker side to this building's history.
I call it the asylum. I've looked at the schematics. There's no names to these floors. As you guys know, or as you've seen, there's a basement, first, second, and third floor on the Ohio Cottage. And then you have a basement, first, second, and attic on the old Civil War wing. But it's in the Ohio Cottage third floor where that asylum wing is that I get the worst feelings. I used to do a lot of construction late at night, renovations, doing drywall, plaster. And I don't do that anymore because you get the creepiest feelings when you're alone at night up there. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You always feel like someone's right up behind you. Yeah. You hear the footsteps, you hear whispering. It's just, I don't know what happened up there, but I just don't get a good feeling from it.
Now, up on the fourth floor, there is the asylum, actually, the former asylum. Now, can you tell me a little bit about that and what it was used for and the kind of state of mind that the people that were in there were in?
We originally were told that, yes, there were insane people brought here from Apple Creek and Cleveland state hospitals. Through reports from locals, we've learned that the severity of the craziness is actually higher than we originally thought.
There's some rooms in the lower level, basement, if you will. What were they used for? What's some of the history behind them?
I talked to Mark Nixon. His dad was a superintendent from 1950 to 1970-ish. For about 20 years, he took care of the place. And I learned that when they were transferring honor inmates from the Marysville State Prison, it's exclusively women. The honor inmates, maybe about 6 or 7 were transferred, they actually stayed down in those rooms down there.
This information completely changes the stakes of this investigation. Displaced and suffering victims of war and the energy of school children is one thing, but when you add in psychiatric patients and violent inmates, it completely changes the expectation of the paranormal activity.
Now, the paranormal activity that is here in the building, would you say that it is more intelligent or residual?
I'd say definitely a mix of both. There are a lot that interact with us, but there's a lot of stuff that feels like it's just a loop replaying back and forth because we hear it at the same time every day.
There's an area that's in the attic of the Civil War building. Is there any reports of paranormal activity out of that area or anything that you've personally experienced?
Surprisingly recently, actually, I had 2 volunteers. We basically moved, there's a lot of boards up there and stuff that you guys saw. We're just moving a lot of that junk out of there. And I had 2 volunteers literally a few days ago, the back tags on their shirt. As they were walking out, they literally felt those being tugged up, which I've never been touched or pulled there, anything. But they swore that happened to them. They wouldn't go back up there after that.
We all know buildings like this are bound to have strange and unusual phenomena, but now that we've arrived at Madison, we found out that Adam has slowly started collecting items that could potentially be haunted.
During our walkthrough, we couldn't help but notice these 2 really eclectic metal chairs. Where did they come from?
There are 2 now. Originally, it was just 1. I'm a collector of the antiques. I actually stumbled across the really rusty old one out there in Ohio. Someone had taken it from an old insane asylum out in Indiana. I had to have it. So that's there now. It has some weird activity, I think, attached to it, because anytime we bring these new items in, things do happen. Take it as you will. There's another chair. It looks like it's in really good condition. It's up on the 3rd floor, which you guys saw in your walkthrough. Here's the thing. I'm going to be a straight shooter with you guys. As far as historical research, I can't find anything on it. I don't know if it was brought in by the last ownership or if it was left over from when the county had it and they didn't know it was up there in storage. Well, anyway, we think it had 2 purposes. We just don't know which one. It is possible that it was a dentist chair. It looks like an old pre-World War II dentist chair. Or it could have been used for lobotomies.
We thought it would add an interesting level of apprehension to conduct Grimm's interview in these antique dental chairs. So we're interested to hear exactly what Grimm has to say about these possibly haunted chairs.
And they were originally used for dental chairs. Why they would be in where they had mentally insane, can only put speculation to the fact, well, back in the day, they pulled teeth of biters and people who were more malicious.
Right.
So maybe, I can't be 100% sure on that, but I feel like, no, it's the chair started vibrating.
Oh, wow, really? Oh, wow.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
What was the question? I'm getting a little uncomfortable.
Is it the chair?
Yeah, it does like vibrates.
Oh, wow.
But my feet aren't vibrating, so it's not the floor rattling.
We can only wonder if our interview experiment with the dental chairs paid off, because Grimm actually feels the chair vibrate independently from the floor. That makes us wonder what other secrets these antique relics hold. In our conversation with Adam about these haunted items, we find out that Madison Seminary also came with an allegedly haunted doll named Maddie.
There is a doll known as Maddie. Everybody knows about the doll that goes there, but apparently it's Ohio's most haunted doll. I'm not going to put it up there with Annabelle or anything like that. Just as I was buying the building, the way it was handed over to me, there were some workers that used to have the nursery back there. And every time they would talk with the doll or about it, they would have to hold the doll's hand every single time. You want to talk about some creepy stuff. They were very superstitious. And they said, if you treated that doll well, it would protect you in the building. So they didn't play any games with it.
As the sun sets over Madison, we prepare to begin the investigation. And we'll start on the 3rd floor, up in the asylum. All 4 of us will attempt to make communication with the spirits that reside up here on this floor, that Adam says have been oppressive on many occasions.
But it's in the Ohio Cottage 3rd floor where that asylum wing is that I get the worst feelings.
Really?
Oh.
Okay, maybe sit on the, oh crap, that was on the wall. Sit on the floor? Yeah, no, maybe, you know.
So what's there that would be setting that off?
I have no idea.
You could wave all this candle or anything. Take a peek at it. It's made of wood, so. You ever bring a flashlight?
Yes. I got you. And right there to you.
Gotcha.
Just wood.
Yeah. It's got bolts in it, so it wasn't just put together for.
What the hell?
Is that your table?
I don't.
That went off quick, Dane.
There's bolts in that, so it wasn't just like a makeshift table.
Yeah.
It's pretty elaborate in that sense.
The device that we're using is called a REM pod. It's a proximity meter.
When you get close to the antenna on top of this device, it alarms. We have it sitting on this wooden table, and unexplainably, it will not stop alarming. When we move it off of the table and onto the floor, the alarming stops. And when we place it back on the table, it begins to alarm again. This baffles us. There's no explanation as to why this device should be alarming sitting on this wooden table. The only circumstances that would cause this is if it is sitting directly on top of a very strong electrical current. But the fact is, there is no electrical current going through this table. It's just wood. So our question is, how can this table be alarming the REM pod?
Does anybody want their medications? Unfortunately, we don't have any on us, but if you let us know. Okay, it's a cold breeze, just 1 o'clock my right hand.
I just got a light anomaly as well.
You got a light anomaly?
Yes.
Going past Steve?
It's actually coming over towards us.
Really?
Yeah.
Just before Steve says he feels a cold breeze running across his right hand, Jason captures a strange mist anomaly moving down the hallway towards him and myself. It's moving at a very slow pace and moves almost fully across the frame before it disappears in the camera's line of sight. We're not sure how to explain this, but it makes us wonder if this strange mist anomaly correlates to the strange cold breeze that Steve feels move across his hand.
Okay, it's a cold breeze, just 1 o'clock my right hand.
I just got a light anomaly as well.
You got a light anomaly?
Yes.
Is there anyone down here at the end of this hallway? I think I keep hearing movement down here. Are you down here?
There's someone standing beside me. Yeah. Okay, I feel like I've got ants all over my legs and my arms right now.
If you're standing beside Steve there, can you move the doors? If you're standing there beside Steve, can you push the doors closed?
Ryan walking.
Okay, if that's you, can you come out here into the hallway?
That's crazy, man.
You know what?
What?
Earlier.
At this point, we decide to split into two different groups. Dave and Steve will move out into the open asylum recreation room, while Jason and I will remain in this hallway by the patient rooms. We're hoping splitting up will help the spirits feel more comfortable to come forward and communicate. Well. Looks like they shut us in here, Jason.
Are there any Union or Confederates? What's the matter? What's the matter, bro? What's the matter?
I just felt something. I just felt something rush up right behind me.
Kind of a foolproof validation here. Both meters act the same, and we can guarantee that it's not a malfunction in the equipment, that they are experiencing something that is actually paranormal.
You know?
Ooh. Dude, something just moved my glasses on my head.
Really? Well, then mark that at 29 minutes. Well, 28, 28:30, 28:30, and then they'll play it through. I had the camera directly on you when that happened too, so.
Dave claims that he felt his glasses that were resting on top of his head shift unexplainably. From this angle, we can't tell whether or not his glasses actually moved, but we can't disprove what he actually felt and experienced. Now that we're separated, it appears the energy is ramping up.
What?
Did you not just hear that door moving?
No. It's like a zick, like a.
What's
the matter? What the?
I just scratched my arm.
What?
Just got scratched, Ryan.
Jesus God.
What is it?
Dave just got scratched.
Where's
Are you
it at?
okay, man?
Where's it at? Take the flashlight off of it. Put the flashlight on. That's right.
What's his face? What's that?
Yeah, something moved his glasses already.
Something moved my glasses, so we laid
So
them
they're
on the floor.
Yeah.
So we were standing here filming them. That's not it. That's.
Where did you feel it specifically?
Oh shoot! Sorry. That was like right here.
Okay, here, can you hold these E2s? Jason?
Yes.
Or something. Oh, you have a reporter, I'm sorry.
Okay. Here, I go. Here.
Who scratched Dave?
There's nothing there, but it was like.
That's wow.
After Dave and Steve believe they hear the door separating us rattle, Dave feels the sensation of fingernails scratching down his forearm. Startled by the pain, he screams out, and we all came running.
What's the matter? What the?
I just scratched my arm.
Just got scratched, Ryan.
Jesus God.
What is it?
Dave just got scratched.
Upon examination, there weren't any visible scratch marks on his arm to validate what he felt, but this type of malicious activity is still substantial. Something in this asylum appears to be intimidated by Dave's presence, so we need to give Dave and Steve some space to see what happens. Jason and I move downstairs and across to the Civil War building to see what kind of activity presents itself in the basement, a part of this building that has some dark history as well.
And I learned that when they were transferring honor inmates from the Marysville State Prison, it's exclusively women. The honor inmates, maybe about 6 or 7 were transferred. They actually stayed down in those rooms down there.
We'll also attempt to communicate with the spirits of the children who used to go to school down here. To help us contact them, we'll bring a piece of equipment called a Boo Buddy, a teddy bear with pre-recorded questions and an ambient temperature sensor. We're hoping that this bear will help the children feel more comfortable with our presence.
Hello?
Do you have a famous pond?
Is there someone down here who wants to play with us or talk to us? Brought a toy down there for you. You might have seen one before. It's a teddy bear.
Do you know what time it is?
Wow. Do you know what time it is?
Imagine 2 people in here. It's 4 things. 4 people. That's me. Hello? Is there anyone here? We know we're guests. Or visitors, I guess you should say. We were invited by Mr. Kimmel, so we are guests in a sense, but I know you don't know us, and we don't know you. Dave and I would love to learn your name. Do you have a name?
Do you want to be my friend?
Oh.
Can you touch the bear? Can you touch the bear or move the ball that's on the floor? Can you roll it to me? I'll roll it back to you.
Do you want to play a game?
Oh,
EP session. Dave and I are leaving the upper floor of the Ohio Cottage, heading down. Mark, door closing.
After being alone on the third floor in the asylum, Dave and Steve believe the activity has begun to subside. So in an attempt to follow the activity, they move down one floor to the second level.
hello, yeah.
I was expecting a door to be there. That was me.
Phew, it got warm in here.
Kind of unusual that'd be the second time it's talking about it getting warmer.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't make sense for it to get warmer down here in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Strange.
No, not really. That's weird. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I was hearing a little something coming from over there.
It sounds like it's touching one of the plastic on the pieces of equipment. Are you trying to touch one of the other pieces of equipment? Can you push it over for us?
Jason and I are puzzled when we hear what sounds like something tapping on the hard plastic cover of one of the pieces of equipment. Upon review, we're amazed to find out that it was actually the digital recorder. Take a listen and hear for yourself.
Wow.
It sounds like it's touching one of the plastic on the pieces of equipment.
Christ! Are you okay? Dave?
Oh, what happened?
That'd be a fun game, right? Can you push it down? You can do it.
Pigeon detective.
Give it a good push.
Dave? Oh, you're not knocked out, are you?
And today,
Can you change this? Yeah.
is he laughing or crying? Oh, no, Flav, what did you do?
There's nowhere to hide. Well, that's why there's only like a small base on these chairs.
Oh,
Did you see that?
Yeah.
No, but I found it out real quick.
With all the activity subsiding, we already planned on moving on with our investigation. But after Dave accidentally tips over his chair, we take this as a sign that we need to raise the stakes. It's time for our solo missions. The four of us will split up, going alone to 4 different parts of Madison Seminary. Dave will be going to the basement of the Civil War building, one of the oldest parts of this location, while Steve will be on the floors above him, in the upper 2 floors of this same Civil War building, to try and communicate with the spirits of the displaced war widows. Jason will be alone on the 2nd floor of the Ohio cottage, with a small Tesla coil to emit energy for the spirits to use, and a routive diode, which is an EVP tool that we've used on multiple occasions.
These diodes, what they do is they record only a certain frequency. So any type of voice that you get through this is almost by definition paranormal, because these diodes do not pick up, as a regular microphone does, ambient noise, our voices, and other types of background noises, etc.
I'll be conducting my solo mission in the 1st floor map room. This is where we conducted Grimm's interview, and I'll not only be trying to communicate with the spirits of the Madison Seminary, but I'll also be investigating the energies of these antique dental chairs. Will this isolation style of investigating make us more vulnerable to the spirits that reside within this historic building? Only time will tell. The device that I'm using on my solo mission is called a PSB-11 Spirit Box, which involves 2 AM/FM radios sweeping simultaneously at a very fast rate of speed. It's said that this creates a white noise base that the spirits can use to communicate. This is a piece of equipment that I had a very high level of success with at Post Town School.
Do you not know? Or are you happy here? Happy. It just said happy. Oh my God.
So I'm hoping to have the same success here at Madison Seminary.
EVP session, Steve, solo mission, Madison Seminary, Civil War building. Which one are here?
Hello.
Beginning of EVP solo, May 2nd, PQ. I'm up on 3rd floor, Madison Seminary. Starting now. Okay, so I'm starting my solo up here on the 3rd floor of the seminary. What I'm running right now, I've got a digital audio I'm running, and I've got a K2 I'm going to be using. Additionally, I also have a routive diode here that is already recording, and I also have a Tesla coil that at this time I'm going to go ahead and plug it in hopes of charging this area here with some energy. And let's see maybe what kind of responses we can get. Hopefully, maybe get something good to happen.
My name is Ryan. What's your name? Be a pleasure to meet you.
Oh.
Could you just tell me your name? Hello? We'll do that. That remains voice. Do you have a message for me?
Hey, I just heard you. Ooh, I got chills. I got chills now. Who are you?
Can anyone here tell me what this area of the building was originally used for? My name is Steve. I'm from West Virginia. And I'm only visiting here.
If there's anyone up here that can hear me, my name is Jason, and I'd like to communicate with you. I'd sure like to meet you. I come here with the utmost respect, and I mean you no harm. If you could give me a sign of your presence, if you could give me a sight, a sound, that would be great.
If you want those chairs out of this room, all you have to do is tell me and we'll move them out of here. That easy. You want the chairs out of here, or do you like the chairs in here?
There's a window behind me, but I did feel a cold draft come towards me from this doorway right here. I still feel it. So, this is a newer window. So,
If you can hear my voice, I would like to be able to hear yours. Just heard something over here.
If you don't mind me asking, what year were you born? Did you live up here on the 3rd floor? Is this where you stayed?
While Jason's walking down one side of the hallway, the camera stationed at the opposite end picks up a strange light anomaly. It appears in the center of frame, appearing to materialize out of the wall. It floats down very slowly towards the bottom of frame before it exits. Because the night vision camera appears to be experiencing a focusing malfunction on this investigation, the quality of the video isn't clear enough to confirm or debunk this anomaly. We don't want to overlook it just in case it is truly paranormal, but take a look and decide for yourself.
I welcome you to come on up here with me and come up to the end of this table. It'll be easier for me to hear you or to see you. It'll make it a little bit easier.
What did you just say? Oh, I got chills. Oh my god, the air is just crazy in here. Whew. Okay, I'm happy to know that. Did you say something? Holy shit. He said, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm here to talk to you. How can I help you?
Personally, I like what they're doing with the place here. What do you think? Keeping the building intact, keeping it from being torn down.
To anyone, try your best. Do as hard as you can. You come close to this device, or just stand in one of your doorways, whichever you want. Try your best to give me that message, and this potentially can pick you up your voice. And we will do our best to relay that message. 1, 3. 1, 2, and 3.
And I will say that if you have left any messages for me, I do appreciate that very much. And I thank you for allowing us in here, welcoming us here into your home. Once again, no disrespect. I'm gonna get ready to lock and load, I guess, or
So I walked out here because I thought I was just about done because Dave finished over there in the Civil War area. As I was getting ready to shut off this camera, I heard the spirit box say something really loud. I couldn't make it out from out here, but I'm sure that I can. There it goes again. It's a creepy voice because as soon as I heard it, I walked back in there. As soon as I heard the voice, I walked back in there and I said, "Did you say something?" And a female voice comes across and says, "Yeah." Sent chills down my spine. It was crazy.
Did you say something? Holy shit. He said yeah.
With Dave finished up in the basement of the Civil War building, with Steve finished up on the upper floors of the Civil War building, and with Jason finished up on the floor above me in the Ohio cottage, Jason comes down one floor to help me tear down the spirit box, REM pod, and audio recorders that I have set up. And as he is getting ready to walk in the door with me into the map room where the spirit box is still running, it sounds like a voice comes over the spirit box saying his name. What's even creepier and more unexplainable is that the voice that comes across the spirit box saying Jason's name sounds like my voice. Could this be a spirit trying to mock me and calling out to Jason as he's getting ready to walk through the door? Listen to this again and see if you can hear the similarities.
I'm ready to turn it off.
Now that we've concluded our solo missions, it's time for us to perform our abandonment tactic, where we set up cameras and equipment and leave the building to see what happens while we're gone.
Yeah.
We set up 3 cameras throughout Madison Seminary to try and capture strange and unexplained phenomena while the building is empty. Our first camera is on the 3rd floor of the asylum, the same area where Dave was scratched earlier.
What's the matter? What the f*** I just scratched my arm?
We also set up a camera on the 2nd floor hallway to see what energy was left behind by the former occupants of this building, because this area is known for its paranormal activity relating to shadow figures and strange movement up and down these halls. Our 3rd and final camera is set up in the basement of the Ohio cottage, facing Maddie, Ohio's most haunted doll. We're hoping that some of the paranormal activity relating to the doll will present itself for us to capture. With all 3 of these cameras rolling alone in Madison Seminary, they pick up on some strange phenomena that we have to analyze. We'll start with the camera on the 3rd floor asylum, where we captured a few strange lights passing through the laser grid directly beside the door to the patient rooms. But the only other activity that presented itself the rest of the time on this recording were various footsteps and knocking sounds. Moving on to analyze the 2nd floor, we realized that it was much quieter, because the entire time that this camera was rolling on the 2nd floor of Madison Seminary, it only picked up a few various knocking sounds. Finally, we'll analyze the 3rd camera, in the basement of the Ohio cottage, facing Maddie. At about 24 minutes after we left the building, the infrared extender sitting in the window unexplainably dims as if something is drawing energy from it. Could this be the spirits trying to draw energy to manifest themselves? With this abandonment only producing a small amount of activity that's nothing to write home about, and sunrise fast approaching, it's time for us to hit the very last area that we have yet to investigate of the Madison Seminary. Up on the upper floors of the old Civil War building is the attic, a part of Madison Seminary that has never really produced very much substantial evidence. So the 4 of us will head up there as a team to try and see what spirits wait for us on the upper floors of the oldest part of this building.
You guys give me a...
A what?
flashlight.
Well, what was it?
Really?
Yeah, I swear.
You felt what?
Well, it felt like something on my vest moved on my back.
Really? This is.
As we're setting up for our session in the attic, Jason claims that he feels the back of his vest tugged downward. Incredibly, it was captured on camera. Watch the back of his vest just before he reacts. It's pulled downward about an inch and immediately is released and returns to its normal position. You can clearly see both of Jason's hands in front of him, so we know it wasn't a movement of his arms that caused the shift in his vest. This piece of evidence is amazing because it relates directly to something Adam talked about in his interview.
And I had 2 volunteers literally a few days ago, the back tags on their shirt, as they were walking out, they literally felt those being tugged up.
So, like we asked a little bit earlier, why they call you Crispy?
Ooh, there it is.
Did that do that before?
No.
Only when I went to put the cake meter beside it and I activated it.
Can you step away from that?
Oh. That's interesting. So it wasn't like a passerby breeze.
What the hell?
What's that?
My radio.
What?
Is that you? Are you with us here now?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's hitting 2 a little bit. You see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that thing though?
No.
Can you please make it hit the second light for us? Or multiple lights. It doesn't have to only be the second light. You can make it light up as bright as you want.
You really try to make it hit the second light? You almost did earlier. So we grab a hold of that. Just get as close as you can. Use all the power you can.
You can use our energy or the energy from this device, this thing that Jason has in his hand. Take energy from that. That's what that's there for.
Come on, you can do it. What, a little whistle sound?
Yeah. Either a whistle or a child voice.
I heard over
here.
Oh, it's hitting yellow.
Did it?
Yeah, it hit yellow a little bit.
Can you do that again for us, please?
Just after Steve asks the entity to move closer to the REM pod to make the device spike to the second light, he provides words of encouragement, saying,
Come on, you can do it.
Just after that, we hear a voice answering him, before the REM pod successfully hits the second light.
Either a whistle or a child voice.
When we reviewed our recorder, we were shocked at what this voice said.
Come on, you can do it.
This has to be the most relevant and profound spirit voice we've ever captured, as it not only proves that our REM pod is being triggered by a spirit, but that this entity can hear us, and they want to interact with us. We just have to play it again for you.
Come on, you can do it.
If you're just enjoying having someone to speak to, or someone speaking to you, let us know.
Even without knowing what this voice said in the moment of this session, we still felt very strongly that the REM pod was being triggered by a very intelligent entity. So we continued to ask questions about the circumstances surrounding this spirit's life and death.
Are you a female?
Went to yellow for a second. Hey, sorry, the yellow guys.
Most of what we discovered about this person is too sensitive to share with you.
Did someone take advantage of you in a very wrong way? If so,
because of the tragic and sad situation that led up to this spirit's death. But we can share that we discovered she was a woman from this building's time with the Women's Relief Corps, and that she was very happy to have someone to talk to.
Oh.
At the end of this session, we felt our conversation helped to provide some sort of peace.
Oh.
As the sun rises and the morning light overtakes Madison, our investigation is effectively over. Looking back on all the experiences and evidence throughout the night is kind of surreal.
What's the matter? What the I just scratched my arm.
But it's the final session in the attic that we'll always remember.
If you're just enjoying having someone to speak to,
Oh.
or someone speaking to you, let us know.
We discovered that Madison Seminary has a story to tell. A story outside the confines of history books. Adam Kimmel saw it the very first time he set foot inside the building. And after our first visit here, we see it too.
Oh. I enjoyed that. They told us where they are. Forgot. They're looking up and find anything. Perhaps put some. Yeah, I will do. I will do. Right. I know it's been a long one, nearly 3 hours, but thanks for sticking with me. And yeah, I'm gonna go and eat now, and then there's a premiere going on tonight about 8 o'clock. So I hope to see you there. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me for the 3 hours. And I'll see you all later. Bye.